record and do a little intro here.
Okay.
Hi there, everybody out there in Webland. This is Tom Campbell with Heartland Connections, and I am here with Brook Hoover of Surf Zombies. And Brook has a lot of different types of stuff that he's involved in. He's a total music guy and does a lot of lessons and some other stuff here. And we're looking forward to him performing at the Creative Commons this coming Saturday. And so, Brook, to start off here, thanks for being here with us.
Good to see you, Tom.
And why don't you start off telling us just a little bit about your background, a little bit of personal stuff from you.
Well, thank you, Tom. I've just kind of built a life on playing guitar and all things guitar, and somehow it's worked out reasonably well. I mean, up to this point, I was teaching about 30 private lessons a week, and then doing some solo shows and Surf Zombie shows, and just kind of enjoying life, you know, up to, mid-March. But we were really busy and very booked. But yeah, that's what I do, is just kind of, I repair guitars. I have a chord book that I put out, and I kind of keep an eye on, I run a YouTube channel, and so basically just kind of recording, writing, tinkering all day, preparing for gigs, just a lot of rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And that's my life.
All right. So what got you into, what do you think drew you to guitar and, kind of just set you in motion?
Well, I was not a great student in school or a great athlete. And so I thought I'd just try a little bit of music, and it turns out I've got pretty good pitch, and I could easily kind of follow song patterns. And it was just a positive thing after I tried, fitting into the normal channels. I just couldn't find my way. And then, the pitch and music unlocked something in my head, and it really just sparked something to where it just kept me busy, kept my kind of busy hands involved in something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, pitch is great, timing, not so good.
What do you think has been maybe the driving force influence when it comes to music? What other groups or maybe people in your own life that have inspired you musically?
Well, I had a few mentors that would give me extremely brief lessons. I mean, they would just show me just like, like I said, hey, what's the solo to Suffragette City by David Bowie? I asked one of my mentors, and he went like, and then he just kind of like, I don't know. And then I'm like, okay. And then so that micro lesson, I'm like, I remember exactly how he did that. I'm like, okay. It was like tiny lessons. And I asked another guy, these are older guys, like, how do you play Johnny Be Good? And he was just kind of like, he was kind of hemming and hawing. All he could get out was like, and then he didn't know the rest, but I'm like, yeah, then what? And so there's another micro lesson. Or one guy showed me how to go like and that was about it. These tiny lessons.
These little riffs and pieces and stuff. Huh?
I'm like, then what? And then they would always leave. Or they didn't know anymore. I'm like, oh, I'll take it. Then I figured I connected all that stuff. And it was hysterical. And it was all, it all connected, and it all worked, and it was all true, and it's still true like 40 some years later.
Uh-huh. Now you have played and continued to play with some different people in different like configurations and groups, but your main group that you perform live with is of course Surf Zombies. So can you give a little background on Surf Zombies?
Sure. We started playing in the 70s, my friends and I, in our basements, and we had these big Sun amps with reverb and tremolo. And again, an older guy showed us one riff that went like this. he said, that's pipeline. We're like, pipeline. So we would just play that over and over. And then we would like branch off and start making stuff up. So way back in the old days, we were playing surf stuff and just, it's kind of psychedelic improv. Then like the Pulp Fiction movie came out. I always liked that kind of twangy sound and stuff. Then the Pulp Fiction movie came out, and there was like 3 or 4 surf songs, kind of Rumble and Miserloo, and we would cover those, and people liked it. And people would keep suggesting, man, you guys should start a surf instrumental group. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And people kept asking and asking. I'm like, no way. And about 2006, I bought a 3 CD box set of, maybe it's 4, of Lost Legends of Surf Guitar. And I bought it up in Minneapolis and we were driving back. I was listening to it, and I kind of had a vision. I go, it's time to do this. And so I got some really good guys for the first lineup. And our first gig was opening for Dick Dale. And, we had a half hour worth of originals. And it was really weird to play without vocals. And we had a heck of a time just remembering our own songs. It was really a mess. But we got through it. And that was about 2006, 2007. And now we're mixing our 6th studio album, I believe. So
nice.
It just kind of like, I don't know why it clicked with it. I found some early live stuff where we were a little bit, we're still trying to figure out how this is going to work. But, the riffs were there and the melodies were there, and we're still playing some of the same songs from off the first album. And it just seemed to, you could hear, even though we were a little rough, that there was potential for that to kind of take off. I'm like, this is my last chance.
It was the right time, huh?
Yeah, do or die. We always feel kind of desperate, like, if you get a little bit of success, you assume it's all gonna like wash away. So we were just like, we gotta keep this going.
And you've kept it going. That's great.
Yeah, here it is all these years later.
So here we are. Obviously, in the last 2 months, there's been so many things have changed. And like I've mentioned a lot of times to a lot of folks since then, is that, musicians, this is your livelihood. This is what you do with your life. And, you guys have been the first that have been affected, because, the first thing that goes are the large crowds of people. Yeah. And of course, that's going to be the last thing to return. And so here we are in the middle of this whole thing. And can you kind of describe the feeling? And we were talking a little bit about it before I started recording here, but kind of describe a little bit about your life now and, just what you're in the midst of from day to day.
Sure. Yeah, Tom. Well, I just started out by organizing little parts of my house and little collections. I kind of hoard little guitar parts, and I'm kind of a rat. What do you call that?
Pack rat.
Pack rat. Yeah. I tried to manage it. So I've just been thinning out things and organizing and tidying up, and that's cool. Just making sure all my guitars are fixed up and all the amps are working, and just kind of maintaining everything. And then, but it's going on and starting to, like I was telling you, time is starting to get a little distorted. So if I have like some little thing I got to do tomorrow, it kind of eats up the whole day. And so, it's just, I got so much time on my hands. It's kind of weird, but haven't done any person-to-person guitar lessons. So that's kind of a big, financial hit. But I've been putting a lot of videos up on YouTube and asking people to consider buying my chord book. So that's kind of, we've sold enough to kind of it's helped a lot. And so then I do a little bit of yard work for people, and I think I got a check from ASCAP for songwriting. So these are just all little tiny side gigs that are, now they're my main gig, all these little tiny things.
Right.
So it's, my wife and I were together, we're with our 2 cats. We really kind of bonded and had a good time. She's now going back to an office to work, so, but we don't really feel safe about going out in public. Yeah, we're feeling, we're not feeling confident about,
Because you're in, see, I'm in Illinois right now, you're in Iowa, and we're kind of in 2 different modes here of how our respective states are dealing with the pandemic here, right?
I think so, yeah.
Right, yeah, because Iowa's starting to open up quite a bit.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Is that the case? Yeah.
I think so.
Businesses are, kind of the non-essential businesses are kind of allowed with some guidelines and suggestions and things, where I know, like in Illinois, I think we don't start, getting it. It's I think May 30th or so when we can start to kind of do, some more of those things. But anyway, but okay, so you mentioned doing, you've got your YouTube channel, which that is with people who are going to go and check that out or subscribe to it. What's that called?
I believe it's just called Brook Hoover, BrookHoover. And there'll be like a huge row of me teaching lessons, and it should be pretty easy to find. It's my demographic are a type of student I understand pretty well, a beginner, a man that's maybe worked most of his career, is maybe thinking about retiring, or you've raised your family, now you want to have some fun. And but these guys often don't have the dexterity built up, so I slow it down so that we can make sure everybody, if I say give me an F G, I'm going to tell you exactly where that F is and where the G is, and I'm going to remind you we're playing F G maybe a few times, and to where people start hearing that, like that cool sound of those 2 notes, and start really chewing on it. Now we'll add a B flat, like brr, 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 brr. And I've got a pretty good little following. They're kind of, my demographic is responding a little bit, and it's not like totally getting rich or anything, but it's pretty. It's just kind of a long term. I think in like 10 years, at this rate, it'll help my retirement a little bit, but it's humbling, but I keep hitting it every day. I keep adding videos. I get good feedback. And I've had a few people do Zoom lessons.
Okay. Yeah. You've done a few of those.
Just a few. Yeah. And then a few book sales and a few t-shirt sales. So
which those the t-shirts, and if people are going to go, if they're interested in those, where are they going to go to find them?
I've got them listed on Bandcamp. I wonder. Bandcamp and eBay.
Okay.
You can find Surf Zombies shirts, and we just bought a huge load because it was going to be the busy season.
Right.
So, but just as long as everybody's safe, we're not crying too much. But
yep, there you go. That's it right there.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun one. It's got a lot of crazy details.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been kind of fun.
And then, so you've got you've had those 2 things going, definitely not to the extent that you did as far as person to person and crowds and stuff, but and then also you've done a little bit of live streaming as well.
Yeah. I just used my iPhone out in the garage, and I set up and rock the garage at pretty low volume, and I hooked up my lights and stuff. I suppose it's kind of a weird, low light situation's not great for a camera. So
right.
But it was, I got through it and got some pretty good feedback. I think if you keep doing too many live streams, people might kind of start not following as much. So I'm trying to space them out a little bit. It's been maybe 2 weeks coming up. So 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know. Time.
Now, when you're going to perform at the Commons here, you know, you're setting with Surf Zombies. Obviously, it's a full live band, 2 guitars and bass and drums. When you're going to perform at the Commons here, you've got one member of the group that's kind of immunocompromised, and you guys had not been able to rehearse together. So it's going to be a little different. You're going to be performing with some backing tracks, right?
Yeah. Which that's maybe something I could have mentioned, that I spend a great deal of time doing backing tracks, which I use a click track. You know, I select the tempo, and then I might play a couple of guitar parts and a bass part, and then I run over and do the drums, and then I mix it, and then I go play live. I do the lead guitar, and if I'm doing vocals, I'll do vocals. So, but I spend hours every day working on that kind of thing, and but I've got some special stuff kind of ready for this particular show that I've never done. So it's going to be kind of a lean, mean, streamlined. I'm pretty pumped up. This is going to be kind of crazy. I think it's going to be kind of, you know,
I think it's going to be
I do the same show here and there. I mean, I change it all the time, but this is a good, every time I change it, I always feel excited. And so I'm super excited about this one.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. We're looking forward to it. And it's going to be, you know, like I've told people, it's, you know, it's the best thing we can do right now, given the circumstances. You know, you can't have the crowds of people, but you know, if we can get some people together and other good musicians like you, I think we can, you know, everybody can still have a good time with it, and I think that's what it's all about. And so, what do you see? What's your sense of when we get past this? We don't, you know, obviously we don't know how long we're going to get back to what we could think of as at least close to normal. But what, you know, how do you feel about coming out on the other side of this and maybe personally learning something from it? Or what's your take on that?
Well, I'm a little numb and bewildered, frankly. And, you know, if we have to stay in for a longer time, I guess we will. We might do a few things this summer if we feel safe, you know, if we can. We might venture out. We've been asked to do one thing in Wisconsin, and I guess we're gonna try to do a live show, July 11th. Which is kind of terrifying. I really wasn't planning on it. So we've all agreed to do it. We're going to try to, you know, hand sanitizer and mask and get on stage and kill it.
There you go.
We're going to try it. We're going to try one. So I don't know if that's foolish. I mean, it's not really what we were planning, but you know, musicians kind of are pretty hard workers, and we're just hard. We hate to not work, and you know, I guess we're gonna try one, but
right.
I don't know if that's foolish or not, but
well, and who knows? Between now and then, we may find, that I think the warmer weather, more humid weather, the virus isn't supposed to be quite so bad. So maybe at least in the summer there can be kind of a dip, and it can be considered a little more safe, and maybe we got to watch out a little bit more as the fall comes or something. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll just have to try to be, I like that attitude of having an open mind to it getting better, you know, but
yeah,
man, it's like, it just sounds like such a downer to actually catch the thing, you know, so.
Yeah, right, definitely.
Just we got too much living we want to do.
All right, exactly. Well, so let's wrap things up here. And so because you have a lot of different things going on. We talked a little bit about the YouTube channel. And of course, if anybody's interested in contacting you about some guitar lessons, particularly right now through Zoom, they can look you up. what are the best avenues to find out more about you and getting help with music, and also Surf Zombies? The best way to look into Surf Zombies, perhaps purchasing some music or some merchandise.
Sure. If you Google Surf Zombies Bandcamp, our site comes up with all of our albums and shirts and, what do we have? Picks, stickers, bookmarks, and a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, check out Surf Zombies on Bandcamp. You can find me on Facebook, Guitar Lessons with Brook Hoover. And if you'd like to check out some instruction or anything about guitar, just to chat about music, I love to, chat online with anybody. People ask me all kinds of questions, and we have fun discussions, and it's kind of a nice way to stay connected. If you're interested in guitar stuff and just want to show me a picture of your guitar.
Well, I know that at the Creative Commons, where these concerts are going to be, Surf Zombies was one of the last, if not the last, group to play in front of an audience before everything kind of got shut down. And I know from talking to a lot of people that were there that night that maybe had only heard a few snippets of your guys' music before. Everybody was they were blown away. So
wow,
that was a lot of fun.
It was super. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm glad that, it's not the ideal situation of having all you guys come back to the area, but at least we can get you back, and hopefully more people can learn about how hard you guys rock. So
yeah, man, I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it pretty good.
All right. Well, hey, thanks so much, Brook. I appreciate you taking some time out to learn a little bit more about yourself and say hey, and we're all looking forward to seeing you on Saturday night. Okay.
It's gonna be super. Thanks, Tom.
All right. Thanks.